Hello and welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I've been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for On SI since August 2019. As always, we bring you the best and most comprehensive Jaguars coverage that you're going to find, and all of our coverage is 100% free for you, the fans of Duval. You can find us on social media such as Facebook and Twitter at Jaguars on SI and at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. In the wake of the NFL's annual league meetings this week, it sure seems like insiders are continuing to say one thing, and that is it sure seems like the momentum as of right now, and obviously a lot can change. We are, a little around 3 weeks, now I believe about 20 days away from the 2025 NFL draft. But the momentum seems to be there for the New York Giants and Cleveland Browns to go non-quarterbacks. I think, obviously, you could still see both teams invest picks, in those players. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders, being second quarterback off the board after Cam Ward goes number one. But if the Cleveland Browns seem to want to take instead whoever they deem the best non-quarterback in the draft, whether that be Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, and then the New York Giants accept, having Russell Wilson as a starter and taking, again, a Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter type and potentially moving back into the first round for a guy like Jackson Dart, etc., spending a day 2 pick on a quarterback, they would have a ton of options. They aren't a team that should feel cornered into taking the quarterback now. And if the momentum's there for Hunter and Carter, to be picks 2 and 3 in some order off the board, that's obviously not the best scenario that, the Jacksonville Jaguars could have had this offseason, but they're still in good shape because to me, as I've said before, there are 4 top players to me in this draft. I think Travis Hunter is the best player in the draft. I think Abdul Carter's second. And then third and fourth, I think Will Campbell and Mason Graham. Kind of, honestly, in a lot of ways, 2 similar prospects. Multiple year starters at major program. A ton of production. Will Campbell actually did the athletic testing for us to see that he is a true, elite athlete at the offensive line position. But the biggest knock on him has been his length. It's probably the biggest knock on Mason Graham, along with the fact that, he hasn't tested this offseason. It's just an incomplete part of his draft profile. But both extremely productive. Both, I think, are blue chip guys in this draft class. And I think the Jaguars are a better team for taking either one of those players. It would not shock me in the slightest if the Jaguars simply thought Will Campbell, a lot like Joe Alt last year for the Chargers, can be a way to add to, a weapon, quote unquote, for Trevor Lawrence. If you want to add an offensive player, in my opinion, at number 5, I think it's Will Campbell. I don't think it's Tyler Bowen. Tyler Warren, not Tyler Bowen, the former tight end coach. I don't think it's Tyler Warren. I don't think it's Ted McMillan. I believe it's Will Campbell. And then if they want to add, just a piece of the defense, I believe over all the other cornerback prospects, over the pass rush guys, Michael Williams, Jalen Walker, in my opinion, I think Mason Graham is probably your best bet there. So in no way is it like a doomsday scenario or anything for the Jaguars. They're still getting a heck of a player, a very good player, regardless if it's Campbell, Graham, even some of the other options, They have a lot of ways that they can go with this pick and still leave the draft with a potential game changer type player. That's why, to me, as I've said, number 5 is a great spot to be at. The only difference is it would have been an even better spot to be at had a second quarterback on. And again, we're still a few weeks from the draft. We could still see the Cleveland Browns or New York Giants or some other team potentially trading up to pick the second quarterback to go in the draft. And if that does happen, that would at least give the Jaguars a chance at a guy like Hunter Carter. But you have the New England Patriots at number 4. And we've talked about that time and time again. Unless they're enamored with Will Campbell, they'd have the first crack at those guys. It's been a pipe dream this whole time. It's just the fact that a number 2 quarterback really, really could have helped increase their odds. Without a second quarterback going, it would be more or less a moot scenario. And while a lot can change, it sure seems like the momentum right now is for Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter to get nowhere near the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 5. But we will surely find out the truth in just a couple weeks.